Hello everybody, it's Michelle, and I thought while I'm sitting here and doing my makeup or face wipes, whatever you want to use them for, I'd have you give you a quick demo on how they're made. They're super quick and easy, and they do come out rather nicely. And I've made these ones in cotton, so they will wash very nicely as well. I would suggest you do them in a slightly darker color if you've got one, because otherwise there's a tendency for makeup to stain unless you're very good with stain removal. So that's the one thing I would suggest. I'm using what is a double knit and a size 4mm needle, but quite frankly you can use whatever you like, whatever you've got, and then just adjust your needle size up if it's thicker yarn and down if it's thinner yarn. And then of course you'll have to do a few more rounds. So these ones, I'm going to leave this one here so you can see it in the picture. It's made in 1, 2, 3 rounds, and you can do that if it's double knit, because then they are plenty big enough. I'm going to try and keep you completely in the loop here in the camera, and which is a bit difficult when I'm working on my lap. But here goes. So here's my yarn. I'm going to take the tail end. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers twice, and then I'm going to pick up using a magic loop. And I'm going to do 3 chain straight away. Then I'm going to release my loop off my fingers. Let me just see, I've split my yarn, so I'm going to just put my yarn back on. Then I'm going to release my fingers from the loops. I'm then going to do treble 12 times. This is a half double or a treble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What I'm going to do is just scooch all of them around the loop a little bit, squash them a little bit more densely packed together. So I've got 7 so far. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'm just going to slow these. I'm slowing down a bit so that you can at least sort of see what I'm doing. This is not a tutorial on how to crochet. This is already assuming you know how to crochet. So I leave my hook in my last loop. What I tend to do is I now pull on my tail, and I see which loop gets shortened. Okay, so now I know when I pull the tail, it's shortening this loop here that's on the inside. So now I know which one to pull to tighten up the second loop. So I'm going to grab the shortened loop on the tail side, and I'm going to keep pulling it until it closes. And then I take my tail and I pull that, and it's now closed the hole in the center. Okay, you can see that there. Now into the 3rd chain of my starting 3 chain, I'm going to do a slip stitch. All right, so now I've got a circle for the center. That's round 1. Now do 3 chain again, and into the base of the 3 chain here, I'm going to do another treble or half double and 1 chain. Next stitch, 2 half doubles and a chain. Next stitch, 2 half doubles. If you're American, I think it's a treble and a chain. We're going to keep doing that into each stitch. Whoops, sorry, I bumped the camera. All the way around. So we are doing 2 stitches and then a chain in between each shell. Now you can make this any pattern you like. You can skip the chain and do 3 stitches into each stitch. Oh my gosh, just play around with it until you find a design you like. And that's quick and easy to make these. The reason I'm making these is because there is a Christmas fair on at our church on Saturday. And I want to gift these to one of the ladies who's running a stall so that she can raise some money for our knitting group. The other thing I do with these all the time is I put them into bundles of 5, like these ones here, and I gift them to our community grocery store for the people who come and shop at our community grocery store. Every little bit that we can do to reduce our waste is so important to me, more important to the environment, but it's so important to me to help where I can. I've now done a shell and a chain in between each one all the way around, and now into the top of your 3 chain at the start you do a slip stitch. Okay, we now have our second round completed. Final round, I'm going to do a half treble. Is it a half treble? DC. And then into 2 of those, and then into the next stitch I'm going to do a slip stitch. Then I do another half treble and a half treble there, a half double. Do you know what? I'm so bad. I will put a thing on there what it is. So into each space where the chain is, I do 2 stitches, and between the 2 trebles I do a slip stitch. And all that's doing is giving it a cute little wavy border. You can also, of course, into there do a half double, a treble, and another half. You could do a picot edge just with chain stitches, something like that. I've done it like this because it gives the circle a nice size, and I love the little sort of almost frilly edge you get with it as well. So there you go. Now we're getting towards the end, and a slip stitch. So 2 and a slip stitch, and finally 2 there and a slip stitch into the beginning of the first part of the round. I've now closed up my final 3rd round, and I just pull the thread through, snip it off and pull it out. And when I pull it out and I tie my knot, I pull my knot towards the back. Okay. What I tend to do with these is I trail my beginning yarn up through these, and I just knot it at the top. The other option, of course, you've got is you can bring your one tail up or your one tail down towards the other one and knot it near the middle. Then you can also use your needle and thread and the tail to just thread it nicely through. And when you get near the 2 tails near each other, I knot them and then just snip the knot off and bury the tails before I snip it off. You know, whatever you feel like doing, it depends on the technique you want to use. But just end it off with a knot. And then if you want to bury that, use either your needle, or alternatively you can put your crochet hook, got a slightly smaller one here, put it through some of the stitches in your starting round, and then just grab it and pull them through like that, and then snip them off. Snip off the tails, and you are done. There is your finished makeup wipe, just in a few minutes. Very quick, very easy, and a wonderful piece of work as a stash buster. And that's what's really nice about these, is that you can use up lots of different yarn. And if you use cotton for your dishcloths and things like that, then these ones will make a lovely addition to your projects. And if you want to, you can tie them together. I tend to pull a thread, one of my loose threads that I snipped off. I'll pull that through all of them as a bundle of 5. If you don't know why 5, I came to the conclusion I'd do 5. So I do tend to do 5 at a time and gift those. You could do 7, so you've got 1 per day of the week as well. That's another option, which is quite nice. So there you go. Very quick video on how to make face wipes, makeup remover wipes, or anything similar to that. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.